So of course in the interview, since I'm a Dai, I wanted my wife to be a Dai so that my children can be Dai. I wanted a wife, mainly in Deen. You can't get a woman in Deen. Where can you get beauty and wealth and everything? But Alhamdulillah, Allah gave me a life partner who was a Dai. She was the president of one of the local organizations in Pune. Alhamdulillah, she's very beautiful also. I'm happy. And the first girl married. Here starts the planning of the children. And after we got married, I'm just cutting the story short, we traveled a lot for giving lectures. I used to give lectures, she used to give lectures. We traveled in many countries all over the world. After we got married, for the next 6-7 years, we traveled a lot to America, to South Africa, then to Australia, to Gulf countries, many countries. And while we were traveling for Dawah, we did a little bit of tourism also. We saw to it that we visited the Islamic schools available at that time. I'm talking about the mid-90s and the late 90s. That is about 35 to 40 years before. 40 years before. And when we visited the schools, we saw that in this school, their main purpose was, we want to see to it that the girls that come to study, they should be allowed to wear hijab. The children that study in the school, they should be able to offer salah during the school timing. And we went into the school, it's mentioned as the objective. We went to Australia. Now, what is the objective? An environment in which there is no alcohol. An environment which is drug-free. And I traveled across to various schools. And I thought, if this is the main purpose, what they're calling Islamic school, that can wear hijab, they can pray, no alcohol, no drug. In India, where I come from, this is common. Every Muslim managed school, a Muslim is allowed to pray. The girl is allowed to wear hijab. Of course, there's no alcohol. Of course, there is no drug. So I called these schools as Muslim managed school. Alhamdulillah, living in Australia and America, having such an environment is good, so I'm not criticizing them that way. But this is not what I wanted in Islamic school. Good what they're having. Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward them. At least they're giving this sort of atmosphere in a non-Muslim environment. Good. But in India, it's common. India, because there's a Muslim personal law, though it's a non-Muslim country, at the time Muslims ruled India. India is one of the few non-Muslim countries where a person can practice this full Sharia, mashallah. So, it was nothing unique for me. Most of the Muslim managed schools in India were like that. So what is unique? For them, okay, it may be unique. So when I say an Islamic school, I mean education for both the worlds. And some of the schools we went to, the best of schools in South Africa. I'm talking all this in the late 90s. Huh? Now the whole scenario has changed. Now in the last 25 years or 30 years, the things have changed. At that time, I went to the best school in South Africa, I won't take the name. And I spoke to the principal. He said, you know, what the other private schools charge, we charge half. I said, why? Otherwise Muslims don't come to our school. So to attract the Muslim, they kept the fees half of the private schools. Then the principal was telling that though we are supposed to be the best school in the country, I won't take the name of that school. Once, on a Saturday night, I go to a 5-star hotel and I'm shocked to see the girls of my school who are in the 9th standard, 10th standard, 14 years old, 15 years old. They are wearing mini skirts and going in the dance club. Imagine studying in Islamic school, 14-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl, in the 9th, in the 8th standard, wearing mini skirts and going in a dance club. When the school starts after a couple of days, on Monday, the principal calls the parent and tells, I saw your daughter. So the parents say, so what's the problem? So what is the problem if you saw? And they started threatening that if you don't like it, we'll remove our child from the school. That means the management is at the mercy of the parents. The situation is so bad that the management is at the mercy of the parents. And this was the situation of the best Islamic schools at that time.